When I'm walking down the street.
I do want to say to Doni and many of you in this room that over a very long career in this city, all of you have helped me and my colleagues tell the truth and to try to tell.
I may not look like you and you me, but
Take my hat off.
I'm from South Carolina, so I just...
What does this event mean to you, Miss Peggy Morris?
Oh, my heart,
Happy 20th anniversary.
my heart is about loving up on my sisters. Do you know what it feels like to have your sisters in the room? Don.
And dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. I am beautiful, I am blessed, but not just what you see in the flesh. I'm free from people, free from myself. There's a
The doctor lived next door to the janitor to the reverend, and the lawyer. We were together. Now we get so high and mighty that you create stress for your society because you don't like poor black folks either. That's a health problem. Get yourself together so I can stop being taking care of geriatric people and get back to pediatrics. I thank you, Doni, for all you've done. Let's keep doing it all and more.
letting His glory shine through. Dare to be you, dare to be me, dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. And I dare you, I dare you, I dare you to be you.
I dare you to be you. Good morning. My name's Doni. Last name's Glover. Entered the winner for the long haul. Baby! Monday morning. Easter Monday. Did you celebrate the resurrection, the rebirth in yourself? All right. All right. All right. So we got some hot guests this morning. The first being this fabulous, grandiose lady. Her name is none other than Susan Smallwood. And let me tell you, I went to a Susan Smallwood event many moons ago, way out Liberty Road. I mean, I had been out Liberty Road. I probably had been to Carroll County, but this was just in between the black people and the white people, this little off the, and it was an event. It was, I mean, everybody was there, like movie stars, like Mickey Rivers was there. Mickey Rivers from the Yankees, who I grew up watching. But that's also the day I met Shu Smith. But without further ado, let's bring up superstar.
Grand Rising, Doni, and everyone in the world.
Grand Rising. Hi, Susan.
Hello, darling.
Susan, what do you have on your head there?
Oh, my fur hat. It's cold here in the DMV. I'm in Richmond, Virginia. I'm not in Hollywood, Florida with my bikini on.
Well, Lord. Okay, let's slow down. So Richmond, you know, that's where Maggie Walker made Richmond famous. There's a place there called Jackson Ward. We have had our Black Wall Street Awards there before. In Richmond.
Awesome.
But they have
You had that reward handy, Doni.
Yes. We have to constantly promote it, as I do these two books, Unapologetically Black and I Am Black Wall Street.
Love it. Congratulations on all your success and on your longevity. Now, how many years is it this year?
29 years in journalism.
Wow.
This is going into August, will make 21 years of Be More News. And Black USA will be 3 years old in December. But we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about grandiose. Look, I wanted to say to you, it's unfortunate that it's public. You be making up words. How you make up words?
You know, words are powerful.
Grandiosity. Is that a word?
Oh, that's a word, honey. I got to tell the story. They called me grandiose in federal prison. And I said, I'm going to show them grander than I can tell them. So when I came home, I produced I know I'm jumping way ahead of the gun. I produced the first 2 events as Signature Flight Support private jet hangar, which houses over $50 billion worth of private jets. So yes, if y'all think I say I am, I'll be that.
I am proud to know you, Susan. I'm really
Thank
proud to know you because you have you like a rubber ball. You remember that scene in Harlem Nights where Della Reese told Eddie Murphy, you hit like a
No, I don't.
and that's when he shot her toe, but they can't hit you hard enough because they hit you 7 times, you're getting up 8.
Absolutely.
And so I have the utmost admiration and respect for you. You are an entrepreneur extraordinaire. And you just think of things. You think of things and you do them. Could it be that your advantage was being raised in Germany?
I believe a lot of that attributed to me living in Germany and Belgium as a youth. Those were my formative years. And also I've always believed in creating, I guess, magic, but for years people call me crazy. So I would never talk about it. I held it in and suppressed it, my thoughts and my vision. Do you know that I've seen these thoughts and visions come to life with major designers and major platforms? And here I held it in because I got criticized and didn't execute.
There's a poem by Marianne Williamson. She says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. You were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within all of us, not just some of us, all of us. And as you let your own light shine, you unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As you are liberated from your own fear, your presence automatically liberates others. That is you.
Thank you. Grandest thanks. And that's a word too.
It still sounds like you be making up words because you just be coming up with stuff.
But you know, it's contagious. Now people are saying, I want to live life grand. Ooh la la. Because it's magical. We create our destiny with our words and our thoughts, our emotions, and of course, our actions.
You know, I wanted to say one thing before we get to business. Belgium, I've read about King Leopold out of Belgium and what he did to the Congolese people.
Mm.
There are tribes of people throughout the Congo where he was cutting off the hand, the foot.
Mm.
That's what they said about Leopold. They cut my hands off in the Congo, all for rubber. That's what they were harvesting, you know, rubber trees. And if you didn't produce enough rubber, they would cut the hand off.
Mm.
The Belgium. So my memories of Belgium on all of that, great.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. You just educated me on history that I was not familiar with.
I do know that there were Black people in concentration camps in Germany. A lot of people on that. There were Black people because Blacks were in Europe when all of, you know, the world wars were breaking out, but some of them got caught up in the concentration camps. And then just some people just grew up regular in Germany. And it's hard to imagine that there were Black people. Did you meet other Black people in Germany growing up?
I did, but remember, we lived on the army base in Germany, so there were other Americans.
Okay.
There are very few mixed German and Blacks, but there were back then because of the wars. So there were lots of mixed babies, but not many.
Okay, so let's bring us up. You have an event coming up.
I do. Saturday, September 23rd. We're celebrating our 7th annual celebrity charity polo and jazz hosted by Judge Mathis. Ooh la la.
Judge Mathis, he just had a birthday over the weekend.
He sure did. He's an Aries.
Yes, he is. Happy birthday, Aries. What is your sign, Susan?
I'm a Libra. I'll be celebrating my 56th birthday at our celebrity charity polo and jazz hosted by Judge Mathis on Saturday, September 23rd at Congressional Polo Club in Poolesville, Maryland.
Now, this is the 7th year. I remember when you started the thing. It's been 7 years already.
7 years.
And you typically do it around DC, Virginia?
Yes. Yes. We are expanding to other cities, and those announcements will come. I actually was going to do one in Palm Beach this past March. I had to cancel that. It was just too much in a short period of time. So stay tuned.
So what do you think of Florida? So when I wrote this book, I Am Black Wall Street, at the time I was hating Florida because of Trayvon Martin. But the first people in Oklahoma came from Florida on a Trail of Tears. And then I started learning other facts about Florida. Like the first black that come to Florida was a free person. They would have us think that the first blacks that came to the Americas in the past 500 years were enslaved Africans, but it's not true. His name was Juan Garrido, and he was a Spanish conquistador. But America would never let us figure that out. And then also, there's a pirate who was in Florida. His name was Black Caesar. He lived around Biscayne Bay.
Oh, very
Caesar.
familiar with Biscayne Bay.
Yeah, he had about 6 million in silver before they hung him.
Oh.
Imagine that. Okay, so what do you love about Florida?
I love the weather, of course. I love the natural resources, the beaches, the sun, the moon, the stars. It's very healing for me. So I love going to the beach. It's a lifestyle, and it's free. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. What about the governor down there, DeSantis? You know him? Do you ever go to Mar-a-Lago?
No, I'm invited to Mar-a-Lago, but I have not been there yet.
Would you be seen in public with Trump?
That's a good question. I don't know, because I hate to say this. I'm very neutral. And if you notice on my platform, I never talk about religion or politics. The only thing I say is I'm on my spiritual healing journey, and God is grand, and God is the universe. That's as far as I take it. So I don't get into depth about
Karma is God's daughter, and Karma is hanging her foot so deep in the orange man's hind parts that he can't do anything but respect Karma. He gonna respect Karma. Karma said, "You will respect me." Karma don't play. Okay.
Oh no, Karma is real.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so what else we gotta tell them about?
So, and I launched my caviar brand, Le Grande Caviar, 9.5 months ago. We are celebrating our 1-year anniversary, June 8th, at David Yurman Jewelers, which will also be a benefit for Latinas for Latinas at the David Yurman. It is a private event. And on Saturday, June 10th, we're also continuing the 1-year celebration of Le Grande Caviar at Steak 1865. I'm sorry, let me say it correctly. 1865 Steak, Seafood, and Cigars in Washington, D.C. There will be many more announcements to come. I'm just grandly grateful, and that is a word, that we are starting to gain traction and momentum with Le Grande Caviar. Just got contracted last week by a heavy hitter out in a part of Florida, and I can't announce it because it's a private location, private event, only 12 guests. So they're contracting my caviar bar. We're going to do a flight, meaning I will be educating the guests about the 3 top levels of caviar: Beluga Hybrid, Savruga Caviar, and Royal Acetra Caviar.
Can you tell the difference between the 3?
I can. The Beluga Hybrid Caviar, the eggs are larger, they pop more, and they're more light green in color. The Savruga, now I've not had Savruga personally, but it can be on the gray side. And remember, the variations of the colors depends on the sturgeons they come from. The Royal Acetra is more of a green, like an olive green. It's smaller eggs. The Royal Acetra eggs are harvested from an Ocetra sturgeon. The Savruga is harvested from a Savruga sturgeon, and the Beluga eggs are harvested from a Huso sturgeon. Did you get all that? You gonna remember that for the next class, Doni?
I'm looking up sturgeon right now. Okay. All right. They got a long nose on them. That's a big fish.
Mm-hmm.
Got some whiskers too. Have you seen any sturgeons?
Not up close and personal, no.
It's a big fish.
Oh, I have some caviar with me here. Should I bring it on air?
Bring it on. Bring it on.
All right, hold on. Hold that thought.
Folks, we're talking with Susan Smallwood of Grandiosity Events, and she always puts on these phenomenal events. There's Michael Randolph, number one fan. Yes, you are Michael Randolph from Tampa by way of Sandtown. And Susan is promoting her next big event. Hey, look, see this guy here, Michael Randolph? He's down in Tampa. Oh, wow.
Who's Michael Randolph?
Oh, he's a celebrity.
Okay, so this is our chill bag. Okay. And this is a sampler size, which is 1 ounce. It's not on our website for sale. I give these out to potential sponsors, yes, and clients, guests. This is on our website. This is our 3.75 ounce.
What's it go for?
This is $170 on our website. This is the Royal Acetra. It's a nice size portion to share. It's a shareable portion to share with 3 or 4 guests. And caviar must be consumed with either a mother of pearl spoon, wood, bone, or real gold. Anything from Mother Earth. So let me do a demonstration. These are sealed tight. Once open, these are only good for 3 days. Unopened, they will remain fresh for 3 months. So here we go. Can you see the eggs?
I can.
The eggs, again, Royal Acetra, which comes from the Ocetra sturgeon. These eggs are smaller than Beluga, of course, and they are more on the side of green. I wish you could taste this if I were in studio. It has a nutty flavor to it.
Nutty.
So
Nutty, huh?
Nutty flavor. Yeah, it's like a nutty, buttery flavor. It's very delectable. It's a nutritional powerhouse. It's packed full of vitamins and minerals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to perform what we call a caviar bump. That's where you place a dollop of the Grande caviar on the fist, place it on the tongue, let it melt. You don't chew it, and it glides down the throat. And then you do the...
Yeah, I'm going... That's like a little mint candy. You're going to suck on that for about an hour, right?
What?
Yeah, you don't swallow it. You got to... Let me see.
You don't chew it. You just let it melt and then swallow. Hold on. And that's the ooh la la dance. Ooh la la, baby.
Okay. So early in the morning, you can't be up in nobody's face after you eat some of that caviar. You
You
know,
can brush your teeth.
yeah, you need some Listerine after that. Okay. So oh, you're going to hit another one. And
Yeah,
that's
keep talking.
okay. Okay. Don't, woo. Okay. All right. So, how'd you get into caviar? Why caviar? It just fits grandiose lifestyle, right?
Well, it's all part of the lifestyle, but more importantly, the first main reason, there's two main top reasons. One, yes, I wanted to elevate the grand experiences with the events space. Or it's very rare that people bring in caviar to an event space. So I wanted to be that woman. I hosted my first caviar event
I mean,
at a newly
idea though.
Hmm?
How did the idea come to you?
I'm getting ready to tell you.
Okay.
Sir. So I had just moved to the Fort Lauderdale area. There was a brand new caviar lounge opening up. And I said, aha, light bulb went off. Went in, asked, could I host an event? They obliged my request. My first date was March 4th, 2020. Remember that date. So while I was searching for marketing materials, there were no images of Black people or people of color with caviar. That's when I decided to change the complexion. So we went into lockdown after that's next week. If you remember, that's why I said March 4th, 2020.
Wow.
So I started devising and planning how I was going to do this. So that's the blessing of sitting still. And after investing thousands of dollars with another caviar brand, they finally allowed me to become a caviar affiliate. It was a chance meeting with two gentlemen in Washington, D.C. They said, why are you promoting another brand? Start your own brand.
Oh, wow.
And
wow.
Yes.
That's your own brand.
This is my own brand. La Grande Caviar is me, baby. It is under Grandiosity Ventures along with Grandiosity Events. And I'm the only one presenting Grand Lux caviar bars with my brand. And that's what, and I do.
And you're the only woman of color that you know of with her own caviar brand?
I am the only woman of color. I have researched and I have asked everyone in the industry, and they've all attested to that. I'm the only woman of color. Yes.
So does that afford you additional access to wealthy clients than before? I mean, you didn't, like I said, the first party I came to, I saw ball players. So that's not new for you. This just, I guess, added another arrow to your quiver.
Yes. Just took
it up a notch, so you would.
Yes. Elevated my database, my data power, and got me into grander spaces. The first woman to contract me is Miami socialite Ann Rubino. She contracted me to present at her mansion in Pinecrest, Miami. Her husband is Frank Rubino. If you recognize the name or not, I'm sure you recognize the movie Cocaine Cowboys. He's a powerhouse attorney that defended Noriega in Supreme Court from that movie documentary, Cocaine Cowboys. So they were so impressed with that event at the mansion, I got contracted to do the galas, their annual gala every year.
So your boldness of thought and your stepping, you're taking the steps. It just came natural then.
It was natural. So then I've had caviar before, but never thought about the educational piece or the nutritional piece to it. So that's where I come into play, and I make it fun and exciting. And it's not that she foo high society way of indulging in caviar. So we make it very fun.
So what other cities have you taken? So obviously you've done it here in the DC, and let me just clarify this. Baltimore is not DMV, correct?
I don't know what is Baltimore.
Baltimore. No, I
think Baltimore is its own city.
yeah, people in DC don't like Baltimore, confusing it as if we are part of the DMV, because in their minds that includes southern the DC area. I mean, Prince George's, Montgomery, that's DMV. But to say Baltimore is DMV, although it says Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, you know, well, anyway, actually DC's not in that, but okay, so be it. So where else have you done the events?
So, of course, Miami is where it started.
Irvin said Baltimore is DMV, but Irvin, I didn't hear people argue that, but okay, all right.
Then Richmond. I'm currently in Richmond. Did a grand opening for a broker's here, a realtor here in Richmond. And let's see, New Jersey, Bravo filmed it. Stay tuned. It's airing on a special.
Wait a minute.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Is this? Oh, it's DC, Baltimore, Virginia. Okay, so there's a movie coming. You're in a movie.
Well, my Caviar Bar was filmed on a Bravo special that is soon to air, and I can't give out full details. But stay tuned.
Oh,
I'm told it's with a major celebrity housewife.
We can't talk about it right now.
Not in full detail, but I've been posting pictures, but I can't talk about it in full detail.
In full detail. I have to speak to my lawyer.
So that's coming up. It's supposed to air in May. It's been delayed, so I don't know when, but sometime this spring, summer. But let me tell you.
Okay, because we got to run. We got another guest coming. So let me give you a chance to take your time, plug whatever you want to plug.
So with all that being said, because you asked me about a movie, so I am a production company will be filming my docuseries.
Who?
A production company will be filming my docuseries.
Okay. What advice do you have to little girls? You have a daughter, I have a granddaughter, and I want them to grow up and know that they can do anything.
To believe in themselves, to love themselves, and not listen to the naysayers and haters. And once you know who you are, you create your destiny by believing, manifesting, speaking it into existence, writing it, executing it, emotionalizing it, and visualizing it.
What do you mean writing it, and what do you mean emotional?
Writing, when you journal, you write. When we write a script, it's a pen to paper. It's a contract to ourselves. What you want to become, how you visualize yourself, where you see yourself in the future. Pen to paper is a contract to ourselves. Remember that.
And what about emotionalizing it?
Emotional is when you feel it. Oh God. And you feel it. You're putting in the universe. And then it comes to fruition. Ooh la la.
Ooh la la. Look, you have you ever been in a movie?
No, but everyone says I am a damn movie.
Yes, you are. So what website do you want people to go to?
Oh, yes. Please go to grandiosityevents.com for tickets or tables or sponsorship for our Polo and Jazz hosted by Judge Mathis. Or if you'd like to have your own caviar presentation or celebratory occasion with the Grand Lux Caviar Bar, legrandecaviar.com. And remember to live life grand every day, babies.
legrandecaviarbrand.com.
legrandecaviar.com.
Hold up. Don't go nowhere. We got the councilman coming. You can at least say hello to him. Is that
Councilor
right?
Who?
Baltimore County Council Chair Julian Jones is.
Oh, tell Julian Jones that I would love for him to come out and support my Polo and Jazz.
Well, you know, he's Baltimore County.
Well, because I lived in Baltimore County, I want the politicians to know what I became as a resident of Baltimore County.
Well, don't go anywhere because he should be coming in momentarily.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, so You have 2 websites. Wow.
Yes.
So have you found it challenging to promote 2 things at one time on the internet?
No. And if people that are following me know I'm hyperactive on social media, and my social media is very powerful. My platform is very powerful. I'm connected with billionaires, multimillionaires, lots of IT owners, and they rock out with me because they know my journey, my backstory of falling from grace and rising as an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurs know that's part of the process. It's the ebb and flow of life. And so they give me much respect as a woman and as a woman of color in this space of polo and in caviar.
So when you promote something for Grandiosity Events, you post it on Facebook, Instagram, you'll then come back and promote something for Le Grande Caviar the same way?
On the same platforms, pretty much, yes. And I do my own marketing.
Do you ever merge them together?
Well, they kind of are one and the same, especially with my events. We always have a Grand Lux Caviar bar at my events, at the Grandiosity Events.
What does that look like? Is it like 6 feet long?
Oh, are you able to pull up my Facebook real quick?
I would, but I mess up something.
Oh, okay. Well, if you go on my banner on Facebook, the profile, that's a custom themed caviar bar. I'm with Teresa Goduce from Real Housewives of New Jersey in that photo.
Have any Black celebrities stepped up?
Not yet. What's going on?
Oh,
Call to action.
So Judge Mathis is the first celebrity, Black celebrity?
No, I had Lisa Ray last year, remember? Actress Lisa Ray was my celebrity last year.
Well, who else have you had?
Bershawn Shaw the year before. I had Karen Huger from Real Housewives of Potomac the year before that in 2020. Before that, I've had Guy Lambert from WPGC, Taylor Thomas, that were my hosts in 19 in Middleburg, Virginia. And before that, I didn't have a celebrity host. So and if you can tell, each year it grew and grew. Wait till you see who our polo and jazz beneficiary is for next year. And the announcement for our celebrity host is going to be grander than the grandness. And yes, those are words.
I just want you to know that I'm one of the greatest MCs in the world.
We got to talk. Wait a minute. We got to talk about collabing then.
You ought to. I want you to say hello to the councilman. Council Chair, this is Susan Smallwood, formerly of Baltimore County, now of Biscayne Bay and other grandiose areas of the world.
Hollywood, Florida.
Oh, okay. And she
Grand Rising Delegate Jones, or Councilman Julian.
Council Chair.
Council Chair. We're connected on Facebook, Julian Jones.
Hello, how are you?
I'm grander than the grandness. How are you?
I'm grand. I'm not sure I'm not grander than the grandest.
Jesse Jackson ain't got nothing on her.
So listen, Councilman, I would love for you and your wife to support my 7th annual celebrity charity Polo and Jazz, hosted by Judge Mathis, Saturday, September 23rd.
Okay. Send me something. Send me something, and if we can make it work, we'll be there.
Wonderful. I'll send you something, and I look forward to having you as my guest.
And her guest is Judge Mathis.
Yes.
What's his first name?
Greg
Mathis. That's right. Really nice guy. He came to an event for David Miller in Baltimore years ago. I'll never forget that. You know, it's nothing like never forgetting to reach back and help everyday people.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I'm gonna need that hat, Susan, for my lady. I need a hat like that, okay?
I gotta stay warm here in this DMV. Y'all enjoy and have a wonderful show. Donnie, please send me the final edits.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your
Have a grand day. Bye-bye.
Have a grand day. All right, Council Chair, how you doing?
Oh, Donnie, I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
I'm excited because last week I couldn't I couldn't wait to bring you on. You were doing something. You still with me? You okay?
Yes, I'm trying to figure out what just happened. I didn't mean whatever happened. I didn't mean it to happen.
You didn't do anything. So you have been a sponsor of these Joe Mann's Black Wall Street Awards.
Well, I do what I can, Donnie, and I appreciate your efforts to do it.
Well, I just want you to know. So last week I saw you doing something in that same universe. You were promoting. You put up like 10 links in a post to small businesses.
Yes.
That just, I don't know that I've seen any politician ever do that.
Well, Donnie, I'll tell you the other thing. We always highlight the small businesses in the area and outside of the area, really. And we do our little post and try to give them as much support as we can, whether it be people starting a business, going through the whole process in Baltimore County, or giving them support when they have some type of hiccups or some problems, down to helping them secure financing in the beginning. We've had a number of business seminars, and let me see, what else? As you know,
I remember you had an event out there at the Liberty and Old Court at that library.
Yes.
You might not even remember this.
I remember.
It was an MBE event, and a lot of the usual characters. I remember Scott was there. I think Sheila Dixon was there. But I commend you for keeping business in the forefront, keeping Black business. Some people call it minority business, but I thank you for lifting up Black businesses, including mine. You've been there. You've never said no. You've always, I try not to wear my welcome out. I only come 18 times a year. No, once or twice a year. And then also too, I commend you for that event you gave out there in Owens Mills. I want to give an event out there, that place. What was it, the hotel?
Oh, yes, the Marriott.
I mean, why is it important for you to, why do you, I know why, you're trying to get reelected and all of that, but why is it important to you?
Well, Donnie, first of all, I want to congratulate you and recognize you. You've been out there in the front pushing the Black Wall Street and recognizing Black businesses and supporting Black businesses for quite some time. So first thing, I'm going to get that out of the way. Second of all, look, when we start thinking about, let's just keep it real for a minute, right? We always keep it real on the show with you anyway. But, when I grew up at an age, in a time when the thing that was drilled in my head by my parents were get a good education and go out and get a job. Okay, so that's what it was about. But as we start to mature and look at today's economy and look at what can produce generational wealth. Because see, I'm a firm believer that wealth can do so much for individuals in their place in life and help build a community, and it fixes so many problems. Whether it be crime, whether it be you name it, it just fixes it. So generational wealth is very important for us and very important for our community. So what I have to do is encourage people like you do, encourage people, support people, make sure that I'm doing everything in my power to promote Black businesses and minority businesses to give them opportunities. So what you were talking about was that event up there at the Randallstown Library, where I took Kimco, who is going to redevelop the mall, Owings Mills Mall. They were going to redevelop it, make it Mill Station, which is what it is today. I went to Kimco And I have to admit, it didn't take too much insisting, but insisted that they open that project up to minority businesses and contractors. And then I invited the largest minority contracting organizations and other minorities to come out there to Owings Mills Library, where we had Kimco do a pre-bid meeting and tell everybody about the services that they needed and gave them opportunities to bid on those projects. And then I followed up and made sure that a lot of them, in fact, got business out of that project. So that's where I'm leveraging my power as a councilman or a council chair to make sure I'm doing everything in my power to promote Black and minority businesses.
Had that ever happened before?
I don't know. Wayne Frazier seems to think it had not, but because it was no government set aside. This was not mandated by the government. This is just me, like I said, leveraging my power or the little persuasion that I have to get businesses to participate. And I've done that at a number of other events too. I mean, I've helped increase or made it part of, Mills, Trade Point Atlantic, made them have like a 25 or 30% of minority participation when we gave them a TIF. So, I keep it on the forefront. Just recently, Baltimore County, we pay contractors to cut our grass. And, just a couple of years ago, we had basically one contractor doing it all. So some of the things that I thought was a hindrance to others were some of the contracts were so large. That
Bundling. They were bundled.
Right. If you didn't have a big enough company to handle that,
no business.
Didn't fly. So what I've been forcing them to do is break those contracts down into smaller pieces so that we can get other contracts to other contractors to apply for grass cutting. So if you look at Baltimore County, I mean, the last contract we put out, we had 6 other minority contractors applying for the contract.
So that means 6 other people get to eat.
6 other people get to eat. And I was happy to announce that one of them was the lead contractor. One of them got the job. The other one is working with somebody else to do the job. So at least we got a couple of more people in there. So that's the goal. That's to make sure we're doing everything in our power to promote minority businesses so that they have opportunities. So like you said, so everybody can eat.
Or at least more people, because especially us, because I'm presuming that whoever had that big contract was not a Black guy.
Exactly.
Or Black woman.
Exactly.
Okay, so I got to ask you something. I heard something yesterday that I just didn't know. Follow me for a second. Joe Hairston.
Joe Hairston.
The Black school, he was the first Black school superintendent.
Yes.
Of Baltimore County.
Yes.
Have you, what happened? What's going on with him? Have you heard from him? Or?
I have not. I don't know. I thought about Joe Hairston actually yesterday. I was sitting there thinking to myself, we're looking for a school superintendent. And the last 4, Hairston, Dance, Belita White, and Williams, were all African Americans. And I was thinking, man, it maybe it's going to be tough to go for 5, but we're going for 5. We'll see what happens.
But did Joe not set the gold standard?
I think Joe did a fantastic job. He certainly had a long tenure.
But they came at him. They came at him from every direction, especially near the end.
Yeah,
Actually, his office hired me to do some PR work for him because the folks started coming after him, and then they started using folks that look like us to help do the deed on him. This was in the era.
That hasn't changed much. I mean, we still have people out here, looking at like us, participating on the wrong team. But hey, it is working on the wrong team. But I mean, hey, what can that say?
Okay. All right. So let's get to some positive. How important? You're not ready. This baseball season. I got a knuckleball.
Okay. All right. I'm ready.
How important is Mrs. Jones to your ascension?
Oh my Lord, Mrs. Jones. As you can imagine, I love Mrs. Jones with all my heart, and I will tell you this, Donnie. I will tell you this about Mrs. Jones. Okay.
I used to think she had a 38 in her hip because she was like, don't come at me wrong.
Mrs. Jones is my greatest cheerleader,
but your biggest critic.
My greatest critic, and my greatest coach. That's Mrs. Jones. You know what I mean? She always keeps me grounded, and she always pushes me to do more. And she's the first one to tell me when I'm zigging and I should be zagging. She's the first one. She don't pull any punches. She like to say she don't believe in taking any tea for the fever. You know what I mean? Like she just
taking any tea for the what?
She don't believe in taking tea for the fever.
For the fever.
Yeah. So yeah, she comes at you.
Well, I remember she was running that Baltimore City Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
And running the chamber, I mean, that's a powerful position in and of itself. How is it to have a partner who understands business as well, if not better than you, at least at the time?
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, it's absolutely good. Listen, when you get married, yeah, you love the person, but make no mistake about it, you're embarking on a partnership for life. And you want to have people that you want to be with a person that shares your interests and as smart as you or smarter. And I used to always joke around, Donnie, when I said when I was dating her, it was like a chess game. And on one side of the board was me with all of my knowledge, ability, and experience, and I thought that I was the master. On the other side was her and every one of her Delta sorority sisters and all of the people she had known.
Oh, wow.
I thought that I was the master, but clearly I was being outdone by all of these people on the other side.
Man, they got playbooks, they got memos, they got emails, they got handbooks, they got, quarterlies, they got training sessions. Listen, by the time you get up on Saturday morning, them Deltas then already ran the playbook for your next 3 years. They already, and she just reading it and like, do this, kind of like a flow chart. Remember the flow charts? And
I remember.
People like, do this, and he will do this. What else?
We got a new police chief, Donnie. We got a new police chief.
We do have a new police chief, and he's the first black man.
The first black man, Rob McCullough. He has a 35-year history in the Baltimore County Police Department. Started as a cadet, and worked his way up. He retired, and he was fortunate enough to come back. And we certainly congratulate County Executive Oshesky for making that move. And we think we got a lot of we look forward to him leading the police department. He is a good man, has a good heart, and I think he's going to bring a positive change to the police department.
I got to give the lady some kudos because she was the first woman, and from the outside, it was as if the males couldn't fully digest a woman leader, but I still want to give her props because in my mind, she helped for there to be this first black man. Just like down in Tennessee, everybody sees Justin and Justin, but there was a white woman legislator, and her name is not in front of me, Goodman or something, but that white lady stood up with him too. So as unapologetically black as I am, I have to acknowledge decent people who do great things, including That white lady, police chief.
Okay.
You ain't gonna touch that. All right. So, are you running for county executive?
Say what?
Are you running for county executive?
I'm not. Listen, I wake up every day trying to do the best job I can do, and it's no question.
Oh, Julian, you sound like a politician.
Listen, there's no doubt about it. I have my eye on that position. And I think it would be a natural ascension. I think it would be a great thing for our community. It'd be a great thing for Baltimore County. So I'm certainly looking at it very hard and going to do everything in my power to be in a position to take advantage of that opportunity once it presents itself.
Tell me about Liberty Road.
Liberty Road. Well, let's see. How far back do you want to go? I mean, listen, Liberty Road started out as like a toll road. It was like paved toll road. It was like a highway. People had to pay to drive down it, heading out west. And, it has evolved into what it is today. One of we worked so hard to make Liberty Road better. We put in working with Speaker Jones, because it is a state highway. That's like a state highway, but then when you get to the sidewalk, it becomes the counties. And we worked to put up ornamental lights, put up streetscaping, you name it. We've been doing a lot of things on Liberty Road. And if you go up and down Liberty Road, you find very few vacancies. There's some spots that we have to work on. And each one of them, for example, the Shopper Shopping Center, that was vacant. That was caught up in the litigation, so it was vacant for a while. But that litigation has been resolved. There's a clear owner of the property, and they're committed to redevelop it. So that's going to be taken care of soon. But Liberty Road, it's one of these things, Donnie. One thing I realized this business, there's no shortage of critics. So if you look at Liberty Road and the fact that you go from one end to the other, you have all of these different businesses. People will say to me often, what are you going to do about Liberty Road? I'll say, what do you want me to do about Liberty Road? We can't make it look like, we put development review guidelines in there. It's a commercial revitalization district. We've done everything to promote business on Liberty Road. But if you think for 1 minute Liberty Road is going to have everybody's going to look the same, it's just too many different property owners. And if you come 100 feet off Liberty Road, some parts you can see houses on Liberty Road. For example, we had somebody who wanted to redevelop the area or wanted to bring in a Wawa where there's a Golden Dragon. Well, the Golden Dragon and all of its property is not deep enough for a Wawa. So the person would have had to go into the community and buy up 6 houses, 3 on each side of the street. Well, the people that had those houses were, hey man, we'll sell, great. But what about the rest of the block? What about the person on the 4th house who says, I don't want to live next door to
How they gonna mess with Golden Dragon? They got that shrimp toast in there, man.
Hey man, I'm just telling you, at one time, I think this was before this owner, at one time it was up for sale and somebody wanted to buy it and that was their plan. The point I was making is when you get off Liberty Road, you're going to hit a community. You don't have what we had in Owings Mills. In Owings Mills, we had a dead mall, hundreds of acres. We had the Metro Center, big giant parking lots at the subway, and we had a dead Solo Cup factory. Once again, hundreds of acres. So when you have that type of palette to work off of, you can build some nice new things. Liberty Road is difficult because you don't have that kind of land on Liberty Road.
Tell me about them developers in developing Owings Mills. Were they fighting? Because, those developers, they are as political as it gets.
Well, listen, the developers at what I would call the Triple Crown of Owings Mills, We have Kimco, who owns the Mill Station. We have David S. Brown that owns that's actually leasing space from the state, that owns the Metro Center. Then we have Greenberg and Gibbons at the Boundary Road. They
don't play nice together.
No. That's not true. Listen, they have been playing nice together. They have been working well together. There's been a number of collaborations where, the properties are connecting and whatnot. And, in the beginning, when the property's up for sale, sure, they all fight hard to get it. And then once somebody has it, they move on. And my job is to make sure we all work together, because my job is to make sure that we develop these properties to the best interest of the community.
Redeveloping Owens Mills Mall after it died, that wasn't a piece of cake. That wasn't a cakewalk, because
like I said, everybody was fighting for the property. There was a lot of things going on. At one point they wanted to bring a super Walmart there, and I felt like a super Walmart we would have had 3 Walmarts closer than any other 3 Walmarts in the nation. And I knew that wasn't going to last. So I didn't want somebody to close the Walmart or Liberty Road. And I didn't want them to close the one on Ricedown Road, even though that did happen. So we worked hard to help them develop, help them get Costco and other stores there, so that there was no need for a super Walmart at that location. So yeah, you're right. There was a lot of things going on there. Too much to even think about.
Who is the next Julian Jones?
Ooh, that's a tough question.
Who's that young man in your office?
Trevor. I don't know if he has any interest in being the next me, but he's doing his own thing. He's off in the law school, and he's working hard. And
are our young people as politically engaged in the Liberty Road, Baltimore County, Northwest Baltimore County politics as you would like?
There are a few, not as much as I would like. I would always like more people to be engaged, especially our young people. But there are a few that are out here.
But it's so important, because your area represents our best and brightest in the greater Baltimore area in many ways. No slight to Baltimore City. I know you're a Dunbar poet. Matter of fact, I got on my Dunbar tennis shoes right now, but you're out there now. You got Owens Mills, you got Newtown, you got Randallstown, you got some of the brightest, upwardly mobile families in greater Baltimore. Surely someone sees the significance of following the footsteps of a Ken Oliver, of a Julian Jones. And let's not forget the others, like Ella White Campbell, she's gone, but Dolores Kelly, you got the speaker out there, Adrian Jones, the Senator, Ben Brooks. Your area you have a very powerful Black jurisdiction, but there are other people coming, and they want a piece of the pie.
Right. Well, listen, it's no question about it. When the time comes for me to move on, retire, whatever have you, I'm sure there'll be quite a few people that'll be vying to take my place.
Well, they can't wait till then. They need to get involved now.
Well, some of them are involved now and doing their thing and participating. So, I don't want to tip my hand and sort of encourage one over the other. So I'm sort of keeping all the options open.
But what would you like to see in them? What characteristics?
Well, the main characteristics that I would want is, number one, for them to be able to see the big picture. Number one, be very supportive of our community. Number two, be a protector of our community. Make sure that you're willing to stand up for what's important to our community, for sure. And number three, when I say, I don't mean this to be in the third place, but clearly see the big picture. And the big picture, like I said, it's the economy. It's the economy. You have to make sure that people have jobs and people are on the right path in terms of providing opportunities so that people can grow and start a business, and making sure you're a champion in terms of doing everything you can to help. Take their phone calls, do all the things necessary, all the behind the scene things that help them have a easier path.
One last question. I got to get this in there. We've talked about some firsts, like Joe Harrison, you being the first Black county chair, Ken Oliver, the first Black council person out there, all in the era of Barack Obama. You got your first Black governor. Any thoughts?
Well, so far, so good. He certainly has been making us all very proud. I supported him, full disclosure.
Yes, you did. You were out there.
Early on.
Front and center.
Front and center. And, we're very excited about.
See, we told him you can't win Baltimore County. You don't go on Liberty Road.
Well, listen, we're very fortunate. We're very proud of the fact that our community outvotes every community in Baltimore County. Every community has the same number of people plus or minus, which means the same number of voters plus or minus. But when it comes to actual voting, I'm very proud of the fact that our community comes out and votes. And it makes a difference. The other day, we had a town hall meeting. We had close to 400 people show up.
Wow.
Bigger than anywhere else in the county. So I'm a firm believer, if everybody's listening, number one, you look for the best candidate you can. You elect that person. Then you stay involved, stay engaged, and keep pushing, making sure that they do the things you want them to do. It's more than just voting and then going home and watching. You have to vote and then be an active participant to make sure that this government is working in the best interest of you. And then, make sure you have a leader that's willing to stand up for your community and do its best. And sometimes that's tough, Donnie, because everybody don't agree. Sometimes everybody doesn't agree. No matter what it is, there's going to be some critics. One way or the other, there's going to be some critics. And you have to be a strong person to be able to believe what you believe, do your due diligence, come up with a plan of action, and then put it in place and keep marching forward.
Well, I want you to know that you are the Dunbar poet who has been most supportive of BeMoreNews.com historically. You have never turned us down. Going back to Eden's Lounge, you supported our events, and we are now in 9 cities and blah, blah, blah. But thank you for always being there for us. And I'm sure there are others on our network and in our sphere like Michael Haney who want to get you on their show.
Okay, well, listen, number one, thank you for giving me the opportunity. I like to think that this won't be our last opportunity.
Not at all.
But number two, I can't go off the air without thanking you for all you do, Donnie, because you keep recognizing and promoting minority businesses, and that's very important. And you're recognizing the people that are out there in the struggles trying to make it happen. So keep on going, my brother. I'm here to help you every way I can.
I love seeing you promote our small businesses. Don't stop. Have you been to that place, the bakery, Offord Road?
Yes. Yes.
What's the name of it?
Miss Lady Bakery Cafe. Bakery and Cafe.
They got food in there too.
Yeah, I know. They have food. They have a little bakery. I went there for the pre-opening, went there for the grand opening, and we're very excited for them. I had somebody say to me, was it Saturday? Man, you guys got a lot of black eateries around here. I said, we sure do. We have Miss Lady's Cafe. We have the Grind and Wine. We have a number of Jamaican spots, whether it be
Island Cuisine.
Island Cuisine and Island Kitchen up there, further up Liberty Road.
Is Tosh Unk on Liberty Road still Tosh Unk?
Yes. They just opened at a new location, opposite the Liberty Court Shopping Center, next to the Pep Boys. I was just there Saturday.
And what they call Sister's Place nowadays?
Sister's Place is now called.
It's
now called Identity Lounge.
Okay, they changed names. It shows you how old I am.
Yeah, they changed. I don't know if it's Identity. I think it's still Identity
Yeah,
now.
yeah, that sounds
They
right.
changed it a couple of times. My
And,
friend, that's my friend Leroy friend who owns that at Fine Establishment.
and Corinthians is still popping.
Corinthians still popping. Windsor Inn still popping.
Lord have mercy. I remember eating some steamed shrimp in there. Boy, didn't want to go home. Woo! I'm talking too much.
Yep.
Mr. Chair, thank you.
No problem, Donnie. And I'm off to a meeting over there in Owens Mills to just talk about a lot of issues with a lot of the business owners and some of the, we're going to have, right now, we're going to have this meeting and we're going to have the Metro, the MTA police, we're going to have the county police, we're going to have the owners of the bigger places around there, and we're going to have all sorts of people there to just talk about strategies for keeping that area safe and vibrant. So
I know they better not mess with Wegmans because that's where I go for my Mediterranean salad. I bet. Hey, look, it's my getaway.
yeah, that's the second Wegmans in Baltimore County. We have one in Hunt Valley, and we have one there in Owens Mills. I call that all downtown Owens Mills. We're still going to be doing a lot of work to keep that going. And
well, I jump on the subway.
In our smaller communities.
I jump on the subway at Upton, go straight out to Owens Mills, a 4-block walk, get a chance to see the nice county people, get my salad, and head on back home.
Donnie, I'm working on right now.
Because we got a food desert.
We're in the infancy stage right now of making that Owens Mills, that Painter's Mill, a promenade. So then when you get off that subway, it'll look really nice when you're walking down there with some lights and benches and what have you.
I'm cool. Like you got some geese or ducks or something on the sidewalk.
They got it all. And listen, getting back to the Liberty Road thing, right? We just worked really hard to bring in a supermarket to Liberty Road. It's in the process now called what's the name?
4 supermarkets out there at one point.
Yeah, we just bringing in another one called I can't think of it. Let me look them up right now. But at the Milford Mills Shopping Center,
Liberty and Milford, that's where the Giant
Liberty
was.
Milford, that Giant. We're bringing in another supermarket there. It's a national chain. It has like 500 some stores.
Okay.
Something grocery outlet.
Okay.
Grocery outlet. That's the name of it. Grocery outlet. So there'll be like a Rural Farms in the front. There'll be a grocery outlet in the back. Another health center back there. It's going to be really, really nice. That center hasn't been redeveloped. That center was developed before in like 1960 something, and hasn't had any more improvement since then. But so that's going to happen in the very, very near future. We're in the process now. All the documents been signed. They're just going through the regulatory process.
I like what's happening in Liberty and Marriottsville. I remember so much has changed. Owens Mills Boulevard comes straight through. You blink. You don't go there for a minute. You look up, it's like, wow.
Oh, yeah. It's interesting, even on Liberty and Marriottsville, I was there the other day, and, I live out there, so I come past there all the time, and I start seeing people chaining their bikes to the pole. So they've been chaining their bikes to the pole and getting on the bus. Now, remember, it wasn't long ago when I took office, they would not allow that bus to come out there. But I insisted that, listen, people were complaining about the bus is going to bring crime. But what I saw every day was people toting children and grocery bags and everything else, walking up and down Liberty Road, going to that bus stop. And when I start talking to some of those people were walking over a mile just to get to that bus stop to go where they needed to go. So we extended the bus stop. And even now, we haven't seen any influx in crime as a result of it. And even now, I'm looking at somebody, at least 3 people, are driving their bikes to that bus stop.
Hey, easy with that, because around here in Baltimore City, If you were saying that around here, they'd be giving us more bike lanes, and we know the bike lanes ain't always to our benefit down here in the city.
What we're going to do there, we're going to put some bike racks. We're going to put a bike rack there.
Very good. Very good.
So people don't have to chain a bike to the pole. They can chain it to the bike rack.
But have you been across North Avenue lately? They got a whole damn lane for bikes and buses, and it ain't nothing in it. So everybody is all up in this one tight. It's tighter than Central Booking going across North Avenue. Thank you, Dunbar Poet. Your meeting is waiting for you. We appreciate you, Council Chair Julian E. Jones. Thank you.
Thank you, Donnie. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody. Good morning, world.